Hello, my name is Karina. I'm living in Lyon in France, and I have just finished a 9-day dry fast here in Montenegro. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience here, what led me to dry fasting, and so on. So I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2017. Actually, I started having symptoms 1 year before that, and I kind of already knew what was going on. At first, I had like light flare ups that subsided in 2, 3, 4 weeks. So it wasn't that debilitating. But of course, once they diagnosed me, they suggested I should take immunomodulating drugs. But something inside of me was telling me that it was not the right way for me, that it would be, yeah, like totally wrong for my body. So I decided to look for alternatives. So I read books like the one by Dr. Terry Walls, who she cured actually her MS, which was progressive MS. She was like almost bedridden. So she cured her MS with diet. So I looked into different alternative approaches like dieting, meditation. I changed a lot of things in my life. And I also escaped a toxic environment. So we could say that during 6 years, without any treatment, I was disease free. Almost no symptoms. Maybe some numbness in my hands, but like nobody knew. I mean, I had MS. But in the summer of 2022, I started having numbness in my feet, and like I started to lose balance. So slowly, like my legs began to feel like they were made of wood. Um, so I have this sensation, like the same sensation you would get when you get out of anesthesia, like of local anesthesia. So it became harder and harder to do simple things like, well, first of all, it was harder and harder to run, then to ride a bike, to dance, and finally to walk. So before I came, I was walking with a cane, and there's also another condition that led me to dry fasting. In addition to MS, they also found a benign tumor in my spinal cord, which is, well, fortunately it's benign, but it's still compressing my nervous pathway, so it's like adding on to the symptoms. And for this, there's no real solution except surgery. And I mean, as the tumor is located in the cervical area, it pretty much means that, like, if there's a complication with the surgery, I could end up tetraplegic. So, as my symptoms got worse, in the hospital, they suggested I take a treatment. And I decided to take one because my symptoms were getting worse and worse, and I wanted to have more time to find solutions. So obviously, I've looked into a lot of things, like the emotional meaning of symptoms, like transgenerational patterns. So many things I've tried. I've tried different diets, like keto diet, carnivore diet, meditation, everything. And one day, I met a woman who dry fasted with Doctor Filonov, and when she heard I had MS, she told me, you should definitely try it because it's very successful for autoimmune disease. And actually, I already knew about Dr. Filonov's work because I studied naturopathy, and during my studies, I was writing a paper on fasting, among other things. And so I already came across his work and I already tried dry fasting for myself, but it was only like 3 days, and I didn't know at that time how powerful it could be. And I was already experienced as well in water fasting. I did like 3 weeks water fast. So this was also something I tried to get rid of my symptoms actually I before I finally decided to take a conventional treatment. I tried a lot of things, right? So when this woman I met told me about Dr. Filonov, it immediately clicked in my heart. Like I felt, wow, this is the way. This is a path for me. So I started reading about it, watching all the videos I could find, and I mean, pretty much like in 2 weeks, I signed up for the retreat. So I prepared myself very well. I did the 21 days detox program, and it was also a state of mind, you know, like I gradually built my confidence and my determination. So I can say that the fasting here was pretty easy, like more easy than I actually imagined. Because I tried dry fasting like 6 weeks before I came to Montenegro. I did a 7-day dry fast at home, just to know a little bit like what to expect during a real dry fast, like meaning no contact with water whatsoever. And I guess here fasting was easier because I prepared, because I did a detox program, because I fasted at home. And also, I would say that the environment here is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the mountains, the sea, the nature is really supporting you. I felt nurtured by the energies of nature. So I think this also helped me to go through the 9 days. I felt a lot of gratitude, a lot of joy, a lot of happiness to be alive, actually. Like, fasting is not only about cleansing your body, of course, where Dr. Filonov says that every autoimmune disease starts with a toxic liver. So, of course, dry fasting takes care of that. But for me, dry fasting was also about cleaning negative energies I had collected in my waters for so long, because I mean, I hadn't been very gentle with myself, kind of the worst critic, you know, I could be. And I also contacted with a gentler part of me during this fast. It's like I surprise myself, having also a kind outlook on myself. And I think that's also very important for healing. So I believe I got rid also of some negative energies I was carrying around for quite a long time. So for me, this spiritual and emotional cleansing was also very important, like in the decision I made to embark on this journey of dry fasting. Because this was like very, it was so simple, yet, I don't know, it felt so logical, you know. So yeah, I'm very, very, very proud of myself. Very happy I made the decision to come here. I might even come back in October for the next retreat. I really recommend you to try it. I think this is a fantastic tool, and once you master it, I mean, anything can happen. You just dry fast and it will be okay.